Hello, boxing fans around the world. Thank you for joining us once again on Talk and Fight, where we give you all the news and headlines of the day, courtesy of our friends over at boxing247.com across the pond, doing a great job for us, by the way. And we're going to start you off with a little bit of news related to women who fight. England Boxing is delighted to announce it will be hosting its first ever Women in Boxing Conference on Saturday, the 18th of December in Loughborough, with Natasha Jonas, the headline speaker. Sidebar here, my grandparents lived in Loughborough. The Liverpudlian, who has fought Katie Taylor for a world professional title, represented Great Britain at the 2012 Olympics, and is a 5-time national amateur champion. And she'll chat about her journey in the sport, her highs and lows, and the adversity she has faced in a historically male-dominated sport. She'll be joined by other guests and speakers at the conference, which will provide a fantastic opportunity for more than 200 women and girls in the sport, boxers, club members, coaches, officials, and other volunteers to come together, share ideas and learnings, and be inspired to engage with a wider base of female participants in the sport. Centering around the theme of breaking down barriers, the event is part of England Boxing's ongoing commitment to address the gender imbalance in the sport and open up more opportunities for female participation at all levels. It'll be the first as part of an equality, diversity, and inclusion series that will be staged over the next 12 months, with similar events planned around supporting and promoting participants from ethnically diverse communities and disability boxing. The Women in Boxing Conference is a significant step forward for England Boxing in developing the sport from a female perspective, said England's boxing head of community development, Charlie Ford. And we congratulate them and their efforts. And I'm sure they'll have a great time in Loughborough as well. Over we go to California, because we missed a result, apparently, and someone has informed me that last Friday night in the super featherweight division, prospect Kevin Montana won a 4-round unanimous decision over Jose Delgado to raise his mark to a perfect 2-0 in a fight that took place at the Doubletree Hotel in Sacramento, California. Montana is managed by Split T Management, and Montana is of Sacramento, and he won by shutout scores of 40-36 on all cards. He won his pro debut when he took out Tyler Marshall in 2 rounds on August 6th at the same venue. The 24-year-old Montana has had a distinguished amateur career that saw him rise to the number 2 ranked lightweight in the United States. Congratulations to him and those who are putting on events over in California. Speaking of events, over 2 days across 4 continents, we're going to see 5 UBO title fights. Between Saturday, October 16th and Sunday, October 17th, 4 of the world's continents, Europe, Africa, North America, and Asia, will host 5, at least on paper, very competitive Universal Boxing Organization title fights. Saturday will kick off with UBO International Super Middleweight Champion Arpad Klats, who's 11-0 with 10 knockouts, taking on former WBA World Title Challenger Serhii Karmitsky from Belarus for the interim UBO World Super Middleweight title in Budapest, Hungary. Great city, by the way. Been there, lots of fun. I encourage you to go. Nicknamed the Ghost, Karmitsky, who's 32, 21-3 with 14 knockouts, has won the WBC, WBO, and IBF regional titles and defeated some very credible names along the way. Most of his losses have come against top opponents, and he will undoubtedly feel confident about his chances against the much less experienced Klats. Around the same time in Accra, Ghana, another city I've been to and enjoyed immensely, Robert Kwe, who's 19-0 with 16 knockouts, swears off against compatriot Nathaniel Nupke, who's 13-7-1 with 13 knockouts for the vacant UBO International Super Lightweight title. On the same card, in another clash of Ghanaians, Holy Dukbatar, who's 7-0 with 5 knockouts, faces Success Tete, who's 10-2 with 8 knockouts, with the vacant UBO Intercontinental Featherweight title at stake. Finally, Saturday's UBO action will conclude with the world lightweight champion Noel Echeverria, who's 19-7 with 12 knockouts, defending his title for the first time against the very tough Jerome Conquest, who's 11-5 with one knockout in Gadsden, Alabama, USA. Then, on Sunday, in Abbottabad, Pakistan, undefeated fellow countryman Muzaffar Khan, who's 9-0 with 8 knockouts, and Haydar Ali, who's 3-0 with 2 knockouts, will duke it out for the vacant UBO Asia Pacific Super Welterweight title in a highly anticipated local rivalry. 2 days, 4 continents, 5 UBO title fights. Great stuff. Speaking of fighting around the world, and a city we're getting to know quite well, Dedham, Massachusetts. They're going to be holding their second Fight Night charity event presented by Punch for Parkinson's. The second Fight Night, a charity boxing event presented by Punch for Parkinson's, will be held Saturday night, October 23rd at Mosley's on the Charles in Dedham, Massachusetts. Regular people, not professional or amateur boxers, will lace up their gloves to support Punch for Parkinson's fight against Parkinson's disease. A memorable night will include numerous boxing exhibitions, each a scheduled 3-round, 1.5 minutes per round match. Founder and the president of Punch for Parkinson's, Ryan Roach, explains, through our charity, Fight Night, we're able to support local boxing gyms with rock-steady programs, as well as one-on-one and small group boxing lessons. We cover 100% of Parkinson's fighters' gym memberships. We now have more than 100 Parkinson's fighters, mostly in New England, but we do have some fighters in Florida and Texas as well. One of our fighters recently went into the doctor and said she had dropped 20 points on the Parkinson's scale. She attributes this to the boxing we provide her 3 times a week. Last year's Fight Night charity event was canceled due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and tickets, by the way, are priced at $200 for ringside. So if you're in the Massachusetts state, nearby Boston, go check out the event. Well worth it, and will likely be a lot of fun and a great cause. The Bridgerweight. 27-1, Oscar Rivas is going to fight for the inaugural WBC Bridgerweight World title on October 22nd. Despite two postponements and a relatively late replace to fight, Oscar Kaboom Rivas, 27-1 with 19 knockouts, is prepared to capture the inaugural World Boxing Council Bridgerweight World title, that's under 224 pounds, on October 22nd, when he takes on undefeated Ryan the Bruiser Rozicki, who's 13-0 with 13 knockouts at the Montreal Olympia. The Conquest, Oscar Rivas versus Ryan Rozicki, is promoted by Group Yvon Michel in collaboration with Three Lions Promotions, presented by Musée au Jeu. The historic showdown marks the return of American television to Canada for the first time since December 2018, as it will be broadcast live on ESPN Plus across the United States. In total, The Conquest, will also air live in nearly 50 countries. In Quebec, the province where you'll find the city of Montreal, the event will be available on pay-per-view television on Canal Indigo, Bell TV, Shaw TV, and Fight TV. WBC number 1 rated Rivas, who represented his native Colombia at the 2008 Olympics, after which he signed a promotional contract with Jim, settling in Montreal. Kaboom was supposed to fight Brian Jennings in a rematch of their 2019 fight, which Rivas won by 12-round technical knockout. Jennings pulled out of the rematch because he refused to comply with Canadian rules and protocol for foreigners in Canada. Nothing could stop me preparing for this fight, Rivas spoke about the delays and change of opponent. He says, I've remained focused for so long for this fight. I was surprised to learn about my new opponent, but nothing changed at all for my preparation for this fight. I am ready. So, congratulations to all, and a good fight we hope is had. Last story of the day, but it's sad news out of Japan. Kitaro Hoshino died at the age of 52. Former world champion Kitaro Hoshino of Japan was found dead in an apartment in Okinawa last weekend, according to the local press. He had died on Saturday. Journalist Hashio Adachi explained in a report that Hoshino had been battling an illness for years, but the exact cause of his death had not yet been determined. The former champion had been unable to communicate with the surroundings for several days, so one of his friends alerted the local police, who went to his residence and found him dead. Hoshino is a native of Yokohama and was 52 years old. He became WBA minimum weight champion in December 2000 when he defeated Filipino Yomo Gamboa by unanimous decision in his native Yokohama. Although he lost the title in his first defense to Kana Porpion in April 2001, he became champion for the second time in 2002 with another win over Yomo Gamboa, who had regained the belt along the way. Hoshino retired in 2003 after a great professional career. He later founded a gym in the city of Kagami Gahari, where he worked until 2018, when he decided to step away from boxing for good. And may he rest in peace. And that, my friend, concludes today's episode on all the news and headlines fit to print, courtesy of our friends at Boxing 247. Thank you for joining me, and we'll see you later on at 4 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time when I join Mike Gore at 4 for Knuckle Up. Until then, goodbye. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.